From SwissWatchExpo, spotlight on the Omega Speedmaster 57 collection, vintage revival done right. When one mentions the Omega Speedmaster, the image that comes to mind is the Moon Watch, the timepiece worn by NASA astronauts on lunar missions. It must not be forgotten, though, that before it reached the moon, the Speedy was a watch for men who reckoned time in seconds. Built for race car drivers, the very first Speedmaster, the CK2915, introduced many elements that we see in racing watches today. In 2013, Omega reached into their archives and released a tribute to this all-time classic. Let's take a closer look at the Omega Speedmaster 57 collection. Subscribe to our channel to get updates on new videos. The first ever Omega Speedmaster was introduced in 1957 with the reference CK2915. One of the most distinct sport watches to ever be created, it was the first to feature the tachymeter on the bezel, a clever solution that was eventually copied by the rest of the industry, including the Rolex Daytona that was launched in 1963. The CK2915 already had the unmistakable features of the classic Omega chronograph as we know it today, the tachymeter scale printed on the bezel, the recessed subdials in the 369 position, the signature below 12 o'clock, and the screw-down caseback. It also notably featured broad arrow hands and short straight lugs, features that we see sporadically in the history of the Speedmaster. It was also one of the first Omega watches to use the famed calibre 321 movement, Omega's execution of the La Mania 2310, a workhorse chronograph movement used by the most revered watch companies in the 20th century. For Baselworld 2013, Omega presented a modern take on the historic 50-plus-year-old design. The Omega Speedmaster 57 collection is an aesthetic emulation of the original CK2915, an unabashedly retro watch in a modern package. Among the subtle nods to the original were the straight lugs leading from the watch case to the bracelet, the crown guardless, polished case, a brushed stainless steel tachymeter bezel, and alpha hands in the subdials. Some changes are also apparent. The case measures 41 millimeters, larger than the original 38.5 millimeters. Instead of 3 subdials, the Speedmaster 57 has 2, made possible by the placement of both the 12-hour and 60-minute counters in the 3 o'clock register. The second subdial at 9 o'clock keeps track of the running seconds. Timekeeping and chronograph duties are delivered by the calibre 9300 automatic movement, the first of Omega's Co-Axial calibers to incorporate a chronograph function. This revolutionary movement is visible through the watch's sapphire crystal caseback. Some say that the Speedmaster 57 was perfect in every way, except that it didn't have the most distinguishing feature of the original Speedy, the broad arrow hands used in the CK2915. 2 years after, Omega changed that by introducing a re-edition of the steel Speedmaster 57 with the famous broad arrow hands. Also noticeable was the addition of the faux patina on the hands and markers. Aside from the Speedmaster 57 revival with the broad arrow hands, the collection now comes with a choice of metals, including 18-karat yellow or rose gold, lightweight titanium, and a versatile blend of gold with stainless steel. The stainless steel variations also come with different dial combinations, such as black with steel markers, silver with rose gold markers, or blue with red accents. Each model is presented with a matching steel bracelet or a stylish Barenia leather strap in light or dark brown. As Speedmaster watches are not typically offered with leather straps, these offer a handsome alternative. The distinct vintage elements of the Omega Speedmaster 57 give it a solid place in any watch collection. Explore our collection of Omega Speedmaster watches at SwissWatchExpo.com. Want to learn more about Omega watches? Click on the upper right screen for our All About Omega playlist. Don't miss out, we launch 2 videos weekly on the best and the latest in watches. To get updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel.